Okay, so I was hoping to keep this as short as possible, but it's going to be a little bit longer than I thought, or at least originally intended it to be. So many of my friends know Streets of Rage 2 is my favourite game of all time, or at least one of them, as no all time hasn't happened yet, and it can fluctuate depending on the mood. So to be as transparent as possible, for this review, I'll be talking about and displaying footage from the Xbox One version, which is available free to play on the Game Pass if you already have Game Pass. Other than that, it's about £20 across the spectrum for the different consoles like Switch, PC, PlayStation 4, obviously to buy to own on the Xbox. Just to note at the moment, the Xbox version, and I believe the Windows Store version, and I've heard rumours of the GOG version, it's behind other versions. Specifically the GOG version doesn't have online features, and there's no plans to add that from what I've heard. But the Xbox version, it's missing video filters, which I think more retro fans would have more fun with. I've played them on the Switch footage, tripping my own words out. I've played them on the Switch, which I have access to, but I haven't been able to record any of it. My other half has been enjoying Animal Crossing to keep ourselves sane during this pandemic, so I couldn't really get to record footage from the Switch. But to be fair, my go-to is the Xbox version anyway. So anyhow, it's been 26 years since the Streets of Rage title had an official release, and the first 3 games were special, or at least at some point. But don't forget that there was also Master System and Game Gear ports of 1 and 2, which were different to the Mega Drive or Genesis ports, or Genesis releases. There have been attempts to bring the title back over the years, with an exceptional fan remake taking the crown jewels. I'll briefly discuss that a bit later on. So Streets of Rage 4. It's another instalment in the move left to right of the screen beat 'em up, and that's pretty much all you can really say about the gameplay. It may come across as like a one-trick pony, but you know, this genre is one of my favourites. And this one spices up a bit from the previous game by adding the star moves, on top of the tried and tested Stronger, which drains your health attack. All in this game also adds the ability to get some of that health back by beating up the baddies, but if they hit you, you can't get that health back. Of course, unless you get like apples, whatever fruit, food you want to pick up off the floor. This one itself, this game, it's more of a love letter to the more popular Streets of Rage 2 than 3. And what I mean by that is more of the mechanics, so the lack of like the roll dodging and the running. But we'll come back to that in a brief second. I don't really want to talk about the characters too much, because I feel like you should just jump in and try them all anyway, find out what works best for you. Round about stage 4 you do unlock Adam though from the first game, although it's not the first game sprite, it's like the new art style version of Adam, because he's greyed out on your first boot up. And as you play along more, you unlock the classic sprites from the original Mega Drive or Genesis trilogy. It does sadly lack Root and Ash, which is understandable since he was cut from the English speaking releases in the first place, but not so much for Root. I'm not really, don't really want to talk about Ash too much, because it's, you know, gaming trivia, you already know that crap. Root himself does make a cameo at the bar, I think on one of the early levels, and Ash is seen in the poster on the background of a boss fight. So the classic sprites are unlockable, so that's the characters from Streets of Rage 1, Streets of Rage 2 and Streets of Rage 3. And they've got their abilities from their games. So Streets of Rage 1 for example can call for police backup. Streets of Rage 3 characters apparently can run and roll. I can't really confirm the rolling part, as I've not really played it myself as a Streets of Rage 3 character, but I have seen others that have, and I'm pretty sure I saw them doing the rolling out the way. On the campaign feature itself, it does have a sort of pick up and go kind of play. What I mean by that is, like, say you finish a level and you move on to number 2, you don't have to sit and play through level 2 straight away. You turn your console off, go for a walk, come back, turn it on, and continue your game, and it'll start you off at the beginning of level 2. Which is a feature that none of the previous titles had, because they were obviously Genesis or Mega Drive cartridges without the save feature. But this clearly has save features. I'm kind of glad for that feature itself in this game, because I've played through it a couple of times now already, and I'm starting to feel a bit burnt out playing through it. My goal was to unlock all the characters, and I've done that. I'm now in the middle of playing for Romania, which is the hardest mode in the game with Adam, and I play through one of the newer characters, but I'm playing them on an easier difficulty just so I can get like the Chivo for completing it with that character. There are other modes on there. You've got your versus mode, online co-op as well, if you want to do that, but you can just do that by clicking on the campaign mode. There is an arcade mode where it's a little bit more like the old games, but again, I'll try to come back to that in a second. Okay, so one of the things I want to just say about the campaign mode, so unlike your previous entries, your scores, your lives, they don't roll on to the next level with you. Each time you start a level, you start with 0 points, and depending which level of difficulty you start with, affects the number of lives that you're given. The scores you get go to like a leaderboard and a ranking for that level. Obviously S ranks are the highest, A, B, C, D, you get the picture. But if you do miss the old school mechanics, slightly on the arcade mode, so this was going back, and your points and lives do continue across with you on the arcade mode, but that starts you off with like, I think it's 2 or 3 lives, and it does seem to be hard to actually earn the extra lives when playing for arcade mode. Like I think I got to around about maybe stage 4 before it gave me an extra life, and that's with the points rolling across, whereas like campaign mode, I seem to be getting like an extra life each level I do, or extra 2 lives on some occasions. But yeah, I'd say that's more sort of like the old school fans who like that old way of playing. And again, you can get a Chivo trophy if you do play through it all in a single sitting on the arcade mode. And as like a nod to the old school players who have been waiting for the game, there are bare knuckle arcade machines. I think there's 4 in total throughout the game. And they'll let you play portions of Streets of Rage 2 levels, which is mostly boss fights, and some other familiar faces. All you need to get to them is give the arcade machine a zap with the taser. Make sure it is using a regular like punch attack rather than actually throwing it, because if you throw it, it won't transport you. When I played for it on these levels, I did find the controls to be quite floating, but it was nice to see these old artworks again. It does look a little bit odd, like seeing the new graphics of Axel going up against, say, Shiva, for example, and you're like, no, it just doesn't look right. Now, going up at the graphics and the sound, it's quite divided, which I've seen online. The graphics are meant to be like the manga style, like the original concept art for the original trilogy, but the old school fans seem to be taking displeasure in this, that it's not pixel formed. There is the retro filters, which is available on, like I said, the Switch version, I think PS4 version, maybe the Steam version, which will make it look a little bit better if you are missing it, but still not exactly the same. I'm on the fence as well. Sometimes I like the new art, sometimes I don't. I would have preferred it more to look like a 16-bit game, but it hasn't taken out any of the enjoyment out of it. The sound's a bit of a different kettle of fish. Some people are really unhappy with the music, but that's because they're comparing it to the music from Streets of Rage 1 or 2, which by all accounts was just amazing. Like, you can't find any Mega Drive or Genesis fan that doesn't love the music from the first 2 games. Not so much 3, I mean included there. I don't really mind the music in the new game. If you really are missing the old style of music though, you can go to the options and in the sound section click on the retro and it'll put you back into like the old music. So you can put your dummy back in instead of spitting it out. One of the things that I noticed as well, if you go to the language settings and change to Japanese, it does change the title screen from saying Streets of Rage to Bare Knuckle. A rather odd sort of nod going on there. I just wanted to briefly mention that as well. But with that being all said, let's just give my overall thoughts. And I think there's 2 ways of looking at it. And the first is of a Streets of Rage fan, and as a general gamer. So there are 2 ways. So just remember, a lot of people that are playing this now would never have played the original titles, especially with like how long we've been waiting. So as a Streets of Rage fan, I'd give it a respectable 8 out of 10. It's no Streets of Rage 2, but it invoked feelings of nostalgia while rocking new coat paint. It's easily replayable. Like, I've replayed it a few times and I've still enjoyed it. Yeah, I know I'm a little burnt out now, but that's just after too many times. Like, it's one I can see picking up and playing every now and again without a problem. I'm saying that as a good thing because, just to put it in perspective, I'm one of the ones who was an early Switch adapter, adopter rather. I got Breath of the Wild at launch, and I've still not finished that. Whereas this, I've played for it numerous times. It does have its flaws. I would have preferred the retro graphics. I would have preferred the Xbox version to be a complete game like the other ones, but you know, they're giving it away for free on the Game Pass, so you can't really complain too much there. But again, on the old retro graphics, I think it's me and old school Streets of Rage fans. We held the originals on such a high pedestal. When it's been this many years, you know, it's not going to meet our expectations. But if you are really hung up on it not being like the old games, just Google Streets of Rage remake. That'll fill your boots in the meantime. But yeah, I enjoyed the game. Now, going to the second way of looking at it, just like a general gamer. So, general gamer speaking, it's just a budget title with massive replay value. Like I said, you just play through it over and over again. Not really get too bored unless you're hammering it like I was. You've got your couch co-op, online versus. It's a great introductory drug. I've tried for saying that again. Introductory drug to the franchise. So I would give that a 9 out of 10. But it is mindless button bashing fun. Mindless button bashing fun. One of the things I would just say as an added benefit for anyone who picks up the game on any of the releases across the board, you can also get Streets of Rage 1 to free on all systems as well, like Switch, PS4, PC, Xbox. So there's nothing stopping you playing through 1 to 4 relatively cheap. Of course, it's missing the Game Gear and the Master System versions, but you're still playing the main ones. I don't think the Master System or Game Gear versions got releases in the US, so that might be a Europe or European exclusive sort of thing. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I'm sorry that I've rambled a bit, and I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. I do have more content planned, and hopefully I'll get out there as soon as I can. Peace.